See my Instagram open. Oh,
Yes, we are live. Thank you, Roger,
okay.
for setting your Instagram up as well. Great one. So we've just been in a call together, which has been amazing. It was very funny as I've been in a breakout room with Roger, and we had some conversation. So I met an interesting face, had an amazing one-on-one, and just yeah, what's present for me right now is we just come out of a conversation as well.
Oh, you muted, and you're a little in the dark also.
Yeah, the
Oh,
dark is because I'm
Jarne,
outside.
it was echoing.
oh, oh, you're outside. Okay.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Docker.
Hmm.
Then again, welcome to the new voice without echo. Yeah, I think it's more of a grounding energy now than it has been a few days ago. There
Uh-huh.
was lots of movement happening for me in my life, and I had reflected that back from other people as well. And yeah, just want to feel you. Like, how do you feel? Like, what has been moving for you in the last few weeks, and what's settling down in this present moment? Anja, I feel like maybe you
Anya,
first.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, where should I start? Um, we were already talking about our multidimensional essence. So my few weeks, especially the last few days, has been really about embodying this multidimensional essence. And also the fact that we really need to find our own truth, which is within, and do not listen to anyone else. And for example, I can share an example. I always knew that I'm very much connected to the galactic energies, like all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they were telling me, hey, you need to ground, you need to, focus, you need to do this, you need to do this. Coaches, mentors, spiritual coaches, gurus, whatever, all of them grounding, and they were like doing this exercise, like teaching me exercises with how to ground myself with the roots into the center of the earth. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. But the thing is, like, lately what is coming through is like, Anya, that's not you.
Mm-hmm.
Because each and every one of us, especially us three, but so many other people out there, so many beings, we are bringing something to the world that doesn't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's a combination of something modalities, or that we are, doing something different than the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't make us special, but it makes us unique. And each and every one of you is unique as well. So when I started embracing that fact that, well, I don't need to ground like that. I can go in the forest, I can, hug a tree, I can lay on the ground in the grass or whatever, like connect to water, whatever, like my way, my way. Um, so yeah, that was really powerful for me, because when I started embracing that fact, a lot of things expanded and got activated, and it's like, so many different layers. But yeah, like this true, like, just find your own truth within. It doesn't matter what anyone is saying, outside. Of course, you take bits and pieces that you resonate with, so you don't like 100% follow somebody else's order or guidance, but you create your own truth. So that's for my.
You, the synchronicity of this is quite wonderful because I was just listening to a podcast interview. It just got released, one that I had done a while ago. And the interviewer asked me why, when I'm doing Wilhelm, that they're funny and they're light and all of that. And so I had to explain, well, I wasn't going to do it if I had to be like someone else. I wasn't going to do it if I had to be all serious and no, because I suffered too much in my life. Why would I want to bring that through? Do you know? Why would I want to give others that? Why can't I show them the other side? But it was but wait a minute, other people, other channelers aren't doing it quite that way. I even had a roommate that would say that as well, except, well, that's what we're each supposed to do, something different, as you're saying. We're supposed to be unique. And when we try to sit into the mold, that's when we become stagnant and nothing changes. We don't evolve, and neither does the world.
Basically, we block ourselves,
Hmm.
when we hide, even though if our intentions are good,
Hmm.
and we don't really think that we are doing something wrong. We are not doing wrong. It's just we are learning, we are remembering how to
Hmm.
connect to ourselves, because everything that we need for our own life, for our own, evolution is within us,
Hmm.
and it's unique. You cannot copy paste it. You cannot copy paste it.
Yeah, I like that. I just sit at the ocean right now. Decided to go here before I go home. Um, well, means home, but in the apartment. And the synchronicity, as much as said, is very awesome. As I also told someone earlier, like there are so many people who want to direct people, who want to make people move, who want to. It's manipulation. No matter if you think you want good for them, it is manipulation.
Hmm.
And no one, like, I think the coaching scene is just very crumbling right now because they're just reflecting their own shadow behaviors back to each other
Hmm.
and not really finishing anything. So it's like, and I felt like something is off in the scene. I couldn't quite point it. But now I have even the mental capacity that I see and that I can speak about it because it's not okay. Like, no one needs saving, no one needs to change, no one, if I see something in someone else that I feel that needs change, I reflect to that person that this person isn't okay as it is. But there is no mistake in the universe. We are all perfect. So even when people say like, yeah, they're like, no one of us is perfect. I think that's not true. I think everyone is perfect. And if we look at the universe doesn't make mistakes at all. Everything is divine. Everything follows universal laws and principles. And once we live them, we see them. Once we're busy contemplating them, we see them and we live them, and this is kind of what's interesting right now in this conversation, I think. And Roger channeled kind of these informations in written form in a different way.
Hmm.
Like they're all pointing and talking and transmitting those laws. Because if we are following a simple rule or those simple rules that actually are part of one truth
Hmm.
that build this entire organism that we live in, then we start flowing and seeing the value of every experience, even in the bad ones. And we don't have to make everything good and everything pretty because honestly, it isn't. It just isn't. So yeah, lots of fakeness around in the spiritual community and networking calls and the coaching scene. And I think it's just time to let all of that go and start to connect with human on a really high and heart to heart level.
But what I'm going to, what I'm recording something later where I'm saying I want people. We're always in process. When we're here in this physical body, we're always in process somewhere, every single person. Because if we hadn't been, this would come through in the interchanneling sessions. If we hadn't been, then everything would be perfect. Everything in the world would be perfect, and we don't see that. We see things becoming more, and we're each doing that within our lives so that we can demonstrate that in the world in whatever way that is right for us. Just like Anja said, doing it her way. We each are meant to do that now. And in that process, we start to experience and feel our own perfection in terms of what we're meant to do in this life, why we're here. But sometimes we'll have I just listening to this old thing that I did. We'll go in different directions that don't serve us sometimes, but that's okay. As Jarne was saying, then we learn something and then we go in a different direction. That's the process, and we're all in it. And if we weren't, then the world would be perfect right now. And we don't see that. So we're the ones who are making it that way.
Yeah, what is coming through now is it's a concept of not there yet.
Hmm.
So my really good friend, amazing human being, Stephen Young, he is it's all about that, yeah. Like he's trying to reframe this
Hmm.
concept of we're not there yet. We're not
Hmm.
there yet. Because if you think about it, if we reframe this concept, if we reframe this statement for like, on like, the level of humanity, on
Hmm.
humanity, and everybody's just saying, we are here, like that we are here for experiences. So like there's no goal because the goal is journey.
Right.
Like we are here for experiences. There is no goal. Like we were told it's ascension, it's 5D, it's but everything it's already here. We already are where we needed to be. It's just like experience because we decided to get these experiences. So when we are talking about it, or like teaching or sharing, like this underlying statement, like baseline, it is we are not there yet.
Hmm.
So just imagine if humanity would reframe, like how the world would look like.
uh, Getting it. There was one message I wish I had in front of me. It says, "We're trying to get something," and Wilhelm says, "There's nothing to get. You're just moving. That's all. And every day you get more. You understand more. And if we could just feel that, I always like to go back to school when we were in school because it was so definitive there. We would go to a grade, we'd learn something, then we go to the next grade, we learn more, and we're integrating it. Well, we're always doing that. As long as we're in bodies, that's what's happening because the only place it changes is in our consciousness. And then we have to realize that that old consciousness was limited because it had programming, it had everything we brought with us. And so now our job is to move beyond that in this life and create something different. And that can be the challenge as well when we don't want to become ourselves, when we don't give ourselves permission, Anya,
I
like you said,
think,
be you, just you.
yeah, I think humans have like the biggest fear that we have is the fear of our own potential and power. Like
Yes.
the amount of energy that can actually flow through a single being, like a single human.
Hmm.
And it is like the more we try to add something onto us, we lose. And the
Hmm.
more we let go and allow it just to happen, the more it starts to flow through us. And our body heals, we become lighter, we kind of, dissolve back into the one that we are. And
Hmm.
it's very beautiful because we then again see the connectedness, but we can't see the connectedness of each other when we're always trying to be somewhere where we are not. And we always seek for those places. We want to be somewhere where we're not. We're thinking about something where we have what we didn't want it. And then we just keep creating scenario after scenario to remind
Hmm.
us that tries to move us back to where we actually are always, and the place that we never left that I call home, one with God in the heart. Like you feel the love, you feel the energy, you feel life becomes effortless, or is actually effortless if we stop trying and just start being. And we are all divine. We all have love given, and we can move in ways that are so wonderful, but we're not here to do it by ourselves. Like now, like the people who watch these videos or who are on YouTube or on social media generally, I think no one of those people want to be really alone.
Hmm.
So yeah, time to unite.
And to be alone with yourself. That's the big one. But anyway, what you were saying is so brilliant because this is how I cured my incurable headaches, was understanding that place of being in the present moment. And anyone, you can try this on your own, because this is what I had to go through to try to stay in the present moment where I wasn't thinking about anything that happened the moment before or worrying about where I'm trying to get to next. You will find that's so challenging to stay in that just that one present moment. But then the other thing that you find is that if you practice it enough, you develop a skill. to
Mhm.
be able to transcend anything. And that's mindfulness. You can think of it that way. But it was so challenging when I was moving through that period in my life, trying to cure these things or trying to figure it out. That's what I came up with. I didn't want to be in the present moment. Didn't want to be with myself most of the time. That's for many of us.
Yeah. And being in the present moment is, now, because of everything what is going on, and the spiritual community, what they're teaching, it's like it sounds so complicated. They are
Mhm,
like presenting it in just complicated manner. So
mhm,
Yeah.
people would be like, oh my God, I have to learn this. I have to buy this. I have to have that mentor to teach me how to be in the present moment.
mhm.
Like what?
Yeah.
it's it's really ridiculous, because all this, like this stuff is really simple. I mean, we
This
are
is
here.
like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Concepts after concepts after concepts. They try to remember something, or how do I say it? Like, yeah, I mean, it's again like they try to get somewhere, but presence
Mhm.
is now,
Yeah.
and like we all are the gurus within us, and the real guru is just allowing that part in you to be awakened
Mhm.
and not trying to get you there. Like he knows that you already are there. And everyone who tries to make something different or to teach you something different is just like really to contemplate. So we have to let go of many things, and start being surrounded by people who help us to see ourselves
That-
naturally, organically, who bring us a spirit of excitement or like inspiration, and it's very simple. It's really very simple. And everything else which is not it.
and it's interesting. It takes us a while to see ourselves. That's the other thing. I recognize it took me the longest time to recognize why my program was working, why it works so well for people. It's because all I was doing is asking them questions, or asking. Wilhelm was actually asking them the questions, and that's why it worked, because it got them to understand who they were inside, moving through the barriers. And if you do that enough, it's just amazing what can open up. And because I'm living that all those years, I didn't recognize that's what was happening. And that's what was causing the difference, even in me. Because when you're just living it, you just take it for granted. And then that's why we have to look back and say, oh, yeah, that's what I did. Now I understand. And we're all doing that in some way.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very simple, is it?
Hmm.
It is. And if you think about it, like constantly, like most of the time, we are we have this program that we are not good enough.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I'm powerless or weak or whatever.
Right.
But like if you reframe it, so whatever whatever we are creating, like whatever it is in our reality, we are creating that. So it's like, oh my God, I'm so powerful that, every thought that I have, that I actually manifested,
Right.
usually it's like what we don't want, because this is like how human beings work. Like and I'm gonna count myself, because it's not 100%, that I'm like superb in this. I still have challenges. So like we are, most of the time we are focusing on things we don't want,
Right.
because it's the worry, the stress, and subconsciously we are focusing on things we don't want, we don't like. So that's why it's manifesting in even more in our life. So if we think about it, you're really, really powerful beings. We are so powerful. You just have to reframe it. It's like, okay, if I created that, then I can create that as well. Okay, it's just like shifting.
Exactly. If I'm experiencing the same things over and over and over and over again, I kind of prove to myself already that I can create those scenarios again because my behavior doesn't change. And if I'm
Exactly.
really analyzing my behavior and I see what my behavior is causing my reality to look like, then I can start taking more responsibility for my own actions, and I I'm not in a victim state anymore. I just put myself into the driver's seat of the car
Hmm.
and choose to drive where I want to drive.
And we are powerful, it's like we are not nearly, we are not helpless or powerless or weak, or we are powerful,
Hmm.
powerful beings. So it's amazing when you are surrounded with other people, that we are reminding each other how powerful we are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is-
We only learn from one another. If we that's all we're doing, and passing it on. We just decide what we're going to learn and what we're going to pass on, and those are the interesting choices that we could become aware of. What is our intention in doing anything, and when we become aware of what we're doing in that instance, and it's amazing what begins to happen, because then you'll attract different stuff to you as well.
Like, yeah, like an attraction partner or like an activation partner,
Yeah.
like we all carry different tones that activate different tones um, within each other.
Right.
And if we see each other like that, as we live in an electromagnetic universe, and everyone you meet kind of is part of the whole and is a reflection of the whole, and we can
Right.
learn from every single relationship something. But first, we have to allow ourselves to be present within the relationship and be humble in it, in our own inner knowing, accept our own inner knowing, to be able to transmit the frequencies that are actually true to ourselves and not based on any agendas, not based on any expectations, beliefs, or anything like that. It is even beyond belief where we kind of have to come to in order for us to experience the miraculous in life and those things happening like every single day, all around us. Like life itself, that we are alive, is a miracle.
You both got me to think of something. I would receive some information that I would have to think from Wilhelm, that I have to think about for the longest time. That happens all the time. But one was because they laid it out this way: feel for yourself. And I go, what? And it said, feel for yourself. The emphasis became different. And so it was the self that I'm meant to become, instead of and I kept interpreting that in a different way. And I said, oh, is that what that means? And it is an internal feeling that we each have, because when we're becoming ourselves, it feels different. It feels like home. It feels calm. It feels peaceful and all of that. But we're not always in that place. So that's why it became a very interesting process to think about: feel for yourself, to separate it.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, what is coming through, like the wholeness. So before we were talking about, that we need other people. That's why we
Hmm.
are here. Like, we are not separated. We are all connected. So basically, when we are talking about the wholeness of
Hmm.
our soul, it's basically every single person that enters our life has a part of our soul within them. So
Hmm.
like when we are reflecting each other, whether they trigger us, or they activate this feeling of love or appreciation or whatever, these are all parts of ourselves that we are embracing.
Hmm.
Like we see ourselves in different people. So when we accept that part, and we like, oh my God, like whether it's a shadow or light, or it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
But when we accept that part that we see in other people, we feel whole. Like this is wholeness for for me. Like what came through now.
Yeah. And it's beautiful if someone is able to hold that space for you,
Yeah.
that allows you to be that way, not not having a conversation where someone wants to direct you, to change you
Hmm.
into a position that they project onto you. Like, it has nothing at all to do with you, what other people tell you. This is also what we kind of have to come to, because people take things personal, and I think they say they're mean, but all of those things are relative when we know who we are, and
Hmm.
Mhm.
when you start taking responsibility for our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, intentions, behaviors, and we have
Yeah.
to hold ourselves accountable for those.
And speaking of the special people, I would like to make a shout out also for Andre. He's one of the
Yes,
really, really good friends that he is like we are reflecting each other's potential.
awesome.
It's very, very good feeling, especially also, like with me and Jarne and me and Roger, like, everybody who are here, we are mostly we are I don't remember when we triggered each other, but like we are most of the time we are reflecting now we are reflecting each other's
Yeah.
potential, and Andre as well. So thank you, Andre. Public shout out. I
Great.
love this.
Well,
So good.
wonderful.
And Jarne,
Yeah,
your
thank
school,
you.
or you got some stuff to share from Egypt? What was going on today?
Interesting that you bring that up today. Um, yeah, so I make some changes in the way that I do things, and I've been spreading myself too thin
Mm-hmm.
in some places, and I'm now really looking inside and
Yep.
protecting my energy in a better way.
Hmm.
Good. I'm glad.
So when I share that, or when I have those conversations, I'm very centered, and I just do a few one-on-ones and not many. In whatever way, if it's in the chat box or if it's on the phone, and really taking some steps and making some energetic leaps inside my reality right now that allow me to ground that information.
1 second.
And we need space in order for us to ground information down. We can't just always go for more and more and more and more, but not being happy with what we have and who we already are. So yeah, I'm in a very wonderful place. I'm opening up space for 10 people max to work with me one on one, and to make sure that their heart is full. like, you know, and once I'm there for people in that way, I don't need to worry about doing this for 100 people in the chat box or hundreds of people in the chat box. That I'm connecting with, or that I connected with every day for months now. So yeah, this is kind of
Healthy
what shift
boundaries.
happened.
Yeah, I mean, I learned that
Mm-hmm.
um, we can really, really give
All good.
and
Thank you. I'm
share
listening. Yes.
um, when we are overflowing. So we cannot share from an empty cup. When our
Yeah, and
cup
like,
is
I
full,
mean, this is one thing. What my difficulty is, like, my cup is fucking full, but I wanted to give it to too many people without realizing that actually what I want to do is like genuine, deep one-on-one conversations.
mhm. So that was realization. It's a gift, it's experience. And on the other side of that experience, it was realization,
hmm
clarity.
And yeah, like my friend helped me, Davis. So there we are again in the conversation that we had a few minutes ago, that we kind of activate each other and that we need each other in a way, that we chose to be here
Mhm.
together in order for us to reflect those parts back to us as us.
What I'm doing today. Wonderful. Well, thank you
Thank
Yes,
you.
both so much. Okay.
we keep it up.
Yes, definitely. All
And
right,
we can
everyone.
recommend anyone to join. I just put my school link in the chat. If anyone wants to join, you're more than welcome.
Perfect.
Yes, easy
Okay, let
press.
me share mine as well. Beautiful,
Yes,
badass souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'll see you soon again. Thank you, my friends.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye. Love
Okay.
you.
Bye.